Good evening, everyone, and Happy New Year's. Thank you for your attendance, both in person and via YouTube. I can call to order our regular Board of Trustee meeting for Tuesday, January the 6th, and time is 7:01 p.m. If you can join me in saying the Pledge of Allegiance.
One nation, under God, indivisible, liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. Clerk Durden, if you could call the roll, please.
Trustee Hadnot.
Here.
Trustee Roll.
Present.
Trustee Taylor.
Present.
Trustee Williams. Trustee Brown.
Present.
Trustee Mosley.
Here.
Okay, I ask for a motion to approve the regular board meeting minutes for December the 16th, 2025.
I'll second.
Any questions? Clerk, call the roll.
Trustee Brown.
Yes.
Trustee Roll. Trustee Williams. Trustee Mosley.
Yes.
Trustee Taylor.
Yes.
Trustee Hadnot.
Yes.
Thank you. Motion passed as presented. I'm asking for a motion to approve the special board meeting minutes as for December the 18th, 2025.
I'll make that motion.
Second.
Any questions? Clerk, call the roll.
Trustee Roll. Trustee Williams. Trustee Mosley.
Yes.
Trustee Taylor.
Yes.
Trustee Hadnot.
Yes.
Trustee Brown.
Yes.
Motion passed as presented without any corrections. At this time, the meeting is open to the public for agenda items only. You have 3 minutes and the clerk will time you. Evening.
Hi.
Am I allowed to speak on the number 3 of the attorney's report? Number 3,
Yes.
under the attorney's report. Testing, 1, 2.
Yes.
Okay, am I allowed to speak on number 3, under the attorney's report, consent of Village of Glenwood for assignment of development agreement with Leading Truck Center?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Now, I was unable to attend the board meeting, the last board meeting, but I did listen in. I appreciate and I also evaluate the comments concerning the trucks operating on Main Street, the impact of Old Glenwood, parts of the forest, and the entire Brookwood Point community. It's evident to me and others in the point that the practice of environmental racism is a well and lie. A brief history of the Brookwood Point, who fought for the health, safety, and well-being of their community by coming before the previous manager and board member with the intention of being heard and respected. The residents of the point engaged the board by presenting and playing a video at a village meeting in which Reverend L. Sharpton was interviewing an environmental expert. The main point was the dangers of environmental racism and pointed out, you don't pay people to kill you. We have been before the board since 2021 complaining and bringing up truck issues on truck hubs, developers, promoting trucking businesses and pollution. A poem was written by and read by one of our residents of when it was good to live in Glenwood. There were demonstrations presented to the board by residents. Now, Will County received a grant to study and how to reroute truck traffic around residential areas. We presented this to that board. We never received an answer back. I myself submitted a written report summarizing the above, which included a section of traffic and truck accidents. Sadly, only one trustee responded and requested a copy of it. We submitted a reroute plan for the trucks coming through Glenwood It was never acted upon. That administration later stated that there would be no more trucking entities coming into Glenwood. The EPA, under Truck's presidency, concluded environmental racism is real. People of color are much more likely to live near polluters and breathe polluted air, even as that agency sought to roll back regulations on pollution. The source is the Atlantic, February 28, 2018. The facts are people of color are likely to die from environmental causes. Source, ABC, Equity Report, October 26, 2021. In the report, I submitted the section on major pollutants defined the effects of diesel exhaust, such as hydrocarbons, nitrogen oxide, and sulfur dioxides.
Mr.
The
V.
largest health risk, almost done, to young children and asthmatics. In closing, I have little faith in IDOT. I attended meetings in Bronzeville in the 2024 reshaping of the Dan Ryan Now Mile section of the Dan Ryan. It was necessary to speak out to ensure the quality of life in the Black community was not impacted. The conditions of our roads and expressway tell the story of our docks. Thank you for listening. Thank you, Brother Clerk.
Thank you.
Oh, you're gonna yield my time. Well, I can come back, can't I?
After. Thank you. Any other public comments for agenda items only?
Robert Maddox, 928 East 193rd Place. Happy New Year and good afternoon. I'd like to kind of piggyback on what Mr. Fields said about the trucking. I myself and a few other people have respiratory problems. When I moved out here, it was a nice semi-rural area, clean air. Needless to say, now I have COPD and all kinds of respiratory issues. And I'm pretty sure the trucks have something to do with it. Since the last time Mr. Fields presented his evidence, we've been surrounded by at least a half a dozen other trucking-related industries. And the last time I was up here, they told me, well, Chicago Heights is gonna do it if we don't do it. Glenwood gonna do it if we don't do it. I don't care about them. I would like for this board to take a position with the community to not allow things to come into Glenwood at least that will hurt us, because every one of you got family here. I got kids, grandkids, grown up in the community. I'm sure you guys got some. It's gonna affect you, them, and other people in this community. So I'd like for the village to take a stance against any other pollution or any other thing that's gonna come in here and cause pollution. And another thing I'd like to ask about, there's been a very bad smell in our community, about once or twice a week. I'd like to know what that's all about. It smells like a farming community thing, like manure or whatever, but I can't prove it, so I'd like the village to check into that also and let me know. Thank you.
Thank you.
Good evening. I am Tanisha Bryson. I live at 1009 East 193rd Street. I am piggybacking off of Mr. Maddox regarding the smell. I came in here in November to a village meeting regarding the smell that was in the air. I noticed it in April, and literally it's unbearable. It wasn't out there today, but it was definitely out there yesterday, that it was so strong that you cannot even open your windows or even enjoy sitting outside. So either I thought it was coming from the horse stables or it's coming from the meat market. So initially, after the meeting or whatever, I did drive by the horse stables. It's not coming from there. I really believe it's coming from the meat market. I don't know, one of my now residents, she used to live in the condos, and she said it is the meat market because she knew what days that they can smell it when they were slaughtering animals. Like, oh, they're slaughtering animals today. But the concern is something isn't going right with that. There is some violation, their air filtration system, or there's some type of waste disposal that's not happening in this facility. And those odors will cause pathogens in the air that will affect us. It would create respiratory problems, headaches, and long-term effects that can be cancerous to individuals in the area. Now, I stay in the Brookwood Point area. So to me, for this to come about, it's too much. It's gonna affect people mentally. They can't go outside, physically, with their health wise, and financially, because now they may have to run their air, close their windows, buy other things to make their home smell well because of the pollution that's in the air. And that's something that really needs to be looked into because it'll affect us. You know, you have low income communities, and we're a community of color at this point. So I don't know if, nobody is caring at this point, but if you live in the area, you live in the Glenwood, it's gonna affect.
Thank you. Any other public comments? Agenda item.
Good evening, everybody. Murdoch at Wisconsin. Just briefly, I had made a request
Is that
earlier. I'm
for
sorry.
the agenda? This is for agenda items only.
Oh, no.
Okay,
Thought
you
this
can
was
wait.
open public.
It is.
Okay.
Oh, okay.
Yes, if it's regarding,
Okay, thank you. No, I had made it a request a couple of months back. That is the fencing going down Halsted Street, where the trees were hanging over the fencing quite a bit, and I was hoping that this is not the time.
no,
The
sir,
end
I
of the
thought you
meeting.
not on the
to come up
agenda.
here. As the young people say, my bag. Okay.
Okay. Thank you. Okay. Okay, moving along, bills payable, Jensen.
The bills payable for January 2nd, 2026, corporate fund, 97,756 and 55 cents. Motor fuel tax fund, 10,822 and 87 cents. Water account, $39,521 even. Main Street, $7,779.75. Tiff Holbrook Road, $537.50. Glenwood Golf Course, $4,724.72. Tiff Halsted North, $1,128.75. Tiff Halsted South, $8,988.50, for a total of all funds of $171,259.64.
I'd ask for a motion for approval of bills payable January the 2nd, 2026, and a total amount for all funds, $171,259.
So moved.
Aye.
Thank you. Any questions? Clerk, call the roll.
Trustee Williams,
Aye.
Trustee Mosley,
Yes.
Trustee Taylor,
Yes.
Trustee Hadnot,
Yes.
Trustee Brown,
Yes.
Trustee Rowe. Okay.
Thank you, motion passed. Payroll, Jensen.
Payroll for December 24th, 2025. Payroll for administrative was $17,202.30. Public Works, $13,987.34. Public Police Department, $100,972.12. Fire Department, $17,976.89. Senior Center, $345.99. Elected positions, $8,965.63. Sewer and water, $25,976.51. Glenwood Golf Course, $13,999.31. Total payroll then was $199,426.09. We did have a small amount of reimbursables of $177.08, which brought the payroll down for a grand total of $199,249.01.
Thank you. I'm asking for a motion for approval of payroll December 24th, 2025, at total amount of $249.01.
So moved. Second.
Any questions? Clerk, call the roll.
Trustee Hadnot, Yes. Trustee Brown,
Yes.
Trustee Roll,
Yes.
Trustee Williams, Trustee Taylor,
Yes.
Trustee Mosley.
Yes.
Thank you. Motion passed. Is there any questions related to the board's overtime report? No questions. Moving on to communication from the mayor's office. We are seeking members for the Planning and Zoning Committee. If you're interested or you know someone who might be interested, please contact the village administrator directly. This committee, the Planning and Zoning Commission, serves as an advisory body to the mayor and the board of trustee, helping to guide land use development and decisions to support the village growth and character. Its key responsibilities include reviewing and recommending updates to comprehensive plan, zoning ordinance, and land use policies, evaluating developmental proposals, rezoning requests, vacancies, and special use permits. It also promotes a balanced and substantial development and supports the growth of the community needs, encouraging public participation and transparency in planning. And this evening that I would like to ask the board for their support in my appointment of Deandra Cephas, Sherry Brown, Shonda Golston, and Alan Scampini, as we work together to establish the commission as part of an ongoing focus of the village needs and priorities. Is any one of Golston, if you could just stand, that's Deandra Cephas and whatever. So I want to make a motion for those appointments. Can I get a motion?
So moved.
Oh,
Second.
you have a second. Thanks. Clerk, call the roll.
Trustee Williams, Trustee Hadnot,
Yes.
Trustee Mosley,
Yes.
Trustee Taylor,
Yes.
Trustee Roll,
Yes.
Trustee Brown.
Yes.
Thank you. And the village administrator would the committee in the next week or so, go through the training portions, have a meeting to move us forward. Thank you for your interest in serving on this important committee. We appreciate it. No other mayors, welcome. No other mayor's report, attorney's report.
Good evening. The first item is approval of BS&A proposal dated December 15, 2025, in the amount not to exceed $122,770 to be paid for the Cook County Water Affordability Grant. I don't know if Administrator Patton would like to speak to this a little bit more.
Sure. Thank you, Attorney Frazier. I know the board received information about this. I believe it was on December 30th or 31st from the mayor while I was out. But as the communication from the mayor indicated, Ryan Jansen and I have spent the last couple of months looking into an upgrade to the city's operating software that would, the software that operates not only our financial system, but also our utility billing, our water billing system, our permitting, our licensing, everything that the village operates off of. In this process, we identified a couple of vendors that kind of fit the needs that we needed. And while we were moving through that process, I identified a grant that was available through the Cook County Water Affordability Project. Basically, what this project was looking for was municipal projects that could help make water affordability in residents. So streamlining water billing processes, that qualified under this grant. And I applied for the grant with the anticipation of using the funds, if we were to get them, to pay for the implementation of a software system. The most expensive portion of switching an entire system like this is the year one cost. The year one cost comes with all of the implementation and switchover costs, comes with training our staff on how to use the software, bringing people in to train them, and all of the data, kind of migration. Year two and beyond is just a standard subscription fee that we would be paying to any of to our current vendor or any new vendor. So just before I left on vacation before the holidays, as I was walking out the door on the 23rd, we received notification that we were awarded the grant. We were awarded the grant in the full amount of the year one implementation cost. That money won't come to the village. They are going to directly pay the vendor for the full 122,000 and change of the year one implementation cost, leaving the village just with the ongoing yearly subscription after that. So the approval tonight is for us to enter into an agreement with the software company. I believe the demo was sent to all of the board members on December 30th. It's about an hour-long demo if you haven't watched it, but it shows all of the capability of the software. It will not be implemented until probably late summer because it takes that long to migrate the data and implement it, train our staff and all of that. But once it is, it will completely modernize not only the way the village works internally, but how our residents are able to interact with the village, whether it's paying their water bill online, viewing their bills online, permits online, all of the things that you would be able to do in a modern operating. So we're asking for approval tonight to enter into agreement with this, with the understanding that upon final implementation of the grant, that's how the year one implementation costs will be paid. Year two bill won't be until January 2027.
Can I get a motion for approval of the BSNA proposal in the amount not to exceed $122,770 with the understanding that the grant will fund this?
So moved.
I'll second.
Any questions?
I have a couple of questions. Okay, you partially answered one of them, and that's the grant. Did we receive an award letter stating that, or it was just a phone call?
Yes, we received it. I received an email with an award that it outlines the program itself, and the letter states that the award was based on the estimate that I gave them, which is actually higher than what this came in at. So when I applied for the grant, I said up to 150,000, and the award letter says it's based on what we applied for. So we'll have if for some reason there's any shortfall, there is ARPA money for it, but there will not.
Okay, so I have another question about, in there I saw travel costs.
Yes.
Is that capped? Can that be capped? And who's doing the travel?
The travel will be for the trainers. So the software company, once the data is migrated over, they will actually send trainers here on train our staff how to use the software. I'm sure we could cap it, but really having gone through this process before in a different municipality, I would say that the training costs are probably the important money we can spend, but getting them here and training our staff the first time is the important part. So if they have to stay an extra day to make sure everybody gets it, it's better than having to bring them back in. That being said, this company is based just outside of Detroit, Michigan. It's not a far travel cost to bring the trainers in to train our staff. So that's a really long way of saying we can have those conversations, but I don't think it'll be necessary because we do have a small staff here. The software does look relatively easy to understand once it's implemented. So I think that the standard training that they provide.
Okay, do you have any idea how much that would be?
It's in the proposal what their estimation for the training is, and they generally overestimate. Off the top of my head, I don't have that number, but it did, in our conversations with them, they did say that they generally overestimate the cost. So it should come in below this number anyway.
Okay, and then I have one more question. Are there any other municipalities in the south suburbs that are using this system?
Yep, the city of Chicago Heights uses it, I know for sure. There are several others I can't think of off the top of my head because we looked at 3 or 4 different softwares and they all had suburbs in the south suburbs. that use them, but I know for a fact that Chicago Heights has been using.
Oak Lawn is another bigger suburb that does use them too.
Pardon me, I didn't,
And was it Mundaline? Is that who I spoke with? Mundaline, I think.
Mundaline, yes.
Has just transitioned to them within the last 18 months. And I talked to the administrator up there, and he had nothing but good things to say about the transition process for them, as well as ongoing since they've been using them. They have part of the reason that one of the reasons that we ended up here was if you look at municipal softwares or ERPs as they're called across the country, this company has like 52% of the market share of all municipal entities. And they claim that in their 50 some years of business or 40 some years of business, they have lost exactly 5 municipalities that were on their software and left to go. I've heard of them in the past. I've never used them before this process, but at the end of the day, they checked all of the boxes that we had. They seem to be the best fit for us, and they come with the strongest track record.
Any other questions?
How many trainers would we be bringing in?
I don't have that answer for you right now. My guess is with the size of our staff, it would be 1 to 2, depending on the modules that we're implementing. So we might have one that comes specifically for utility billing, but may have somebody else that they send for the finance portion. But we have such a small staff here that I would not anticipate a large contingent of trainers.
Any other questions?
I'd like to offer JR congratulations. He's been here how long? 7 months?
Almost 8, but yeah.
8 months? Okay, we can round up to 8 if you like. And how many grants have you written?
4 with a 5th pending right now.
Okay. Well, congratulations. Thank you.
Thank you. Clerk, call the roll.
Trustee Mosley,
Yes.
Trustee Taylor,
yes.
Trustee Hadnot,
Yes.
Trustee Brown, Trustee Roll,
Yes.
Trustee Williams.
Thank you. Motion passed.
Next item is resolution number 2026-001, which is a resolution supporting the renewal of a Class 8 real estate assessment classification for 435 West 104th Street, Village of Glenwood, Cook County, Morrison Container. This is actually required to not only safeguard the tax base for the village, but it's actually the renewal application has to be filed with the county, so this is something that is required, has to be done. I don't know if you want to add anything to it.
Yeah, I would just, repeat what you said, that this is a renewal of an existing Class 8, and if there are any questions from the board, Chris from Morrison is here to answer those.
Okay, I am seeking approval for resolution number 2021, supporting the renewal of a Class 8 for real estate assessment classification for property located at 35 West 194th Street in the Village of.
So moved.
I'll second.
Okay, any questions? Clerk, call the roll.
Trustee Taylor,
Yes.
Trustee Hadnot,
Yes.
Trustee Brown,
Yes.
Trustee Roll,
Yes.
Trustee Williams, Trustee Mosley.
Yes.
Thank you, motion passed. Thank you, Chris, for your time. You don't have to stay if you want to, but thank you and tell Nancy hi.
And the last item is approval of consent of the Village of Glenwood to the assignment of development agreement leading truck center. This is simply something being assigned from the father, son, if you want to.
Yeah, before I get to the item, I will just
Nephew, sorry.
respond to the public comment, because I know it was related to this issue. This business, first of all, is an existing business on Chicago Heights Road, across the street from our Public Works Department. Those trucks that come in and out of that business do not pass through town. They don't go down Main Street. When Mayor Hart took office, he and I went and met with the current owners of that business. They have a big sign that they've put up for their trucks at their exit that says left turn only, which would be going towards Holbrook Road and then out towards Halsted that way. It is also not a warehouse or a truck terminal. it's a maintenance facility for a fleet of trucks, as they described to me when I met with them a few weeks ago to discuss this. If the trucks are there, they're not making money. And so the goal for them is to not have trucks sitting there or coming and going from there. They only go there for their routine maintenance. If you drive by, you'll see there's a giant office building as a part of this and a very small maintenance garage. It's mostly logistics and office for the trucking companies there. So I want to assure everybody that has concerns about trucking, as I share with you, and said in the 7.5 months that I've sat here, had discussions with IDOT. I've heard the residents' concerns about the trucks that come through the Glenwood. We're looking at ways to reduce that or try and change that. This particular issue here on the agenda tonight is separate completely from the trucks aren't coming through the middle of our village, I promise you. But with that, this item, as I believe I explained to the board via email, is very simple. When this facility was constructed, there was an RDA put in place, agreed to by the village and the owner. The owner is looking, he's expressed to me, he's looking to spend more time in Europe, where he has a home and some businesses in Europe as well. Because of that, he would like somebody here who has decision-making and signatory authority on his behalf of his businesses. And so he is selling his LLC to his nephew, who is here tonight. And all this agreement on the agenda does is transfers the original RDA to the new owners, which is still within his family. Changes nothing with the original RDA. It's just transferring ownership from one family member to another. So, and he is here this evening as well, if there are any questions.
I am seeking a motion for approval for the consent of the Village of Glenwood to the assignment of the development agreement to the Leading Truck Center.
So moved.
A second.
Any questions?
I do have one question to address the public comment again. So if we could get you to up just to answer some questions.
Hi,
Good
everyone.
evening.
Hi.
Good evening.
To
Welcome.
the board, Happy New Year to everyone.
Thank you.
Yeah, thank you.
So my question is just very simple. So this isn't a truck terminal, right? We don't have anything to worry about as far as their concerns about pollution or excessive noise or.
Yes, no, like JR mentioned before, actually when the trucks are here, they are turning off. They are here for some maintenance and stuff like that. They are not actually drivers inside idling them. So basically, yeah, there's not going to be any noise in terms of when they are here. There's not going to be any like traffic going toward the village. There is a sign that the trucks do not make any right turns, basically to go back to the House Street. So yeah, I mean, in terms of like pollution, idling, they're not going to be idling, just passing through the area, how they are coming into the terminal in and out. And most of the times these trucks are here for maintenance, and I would say 95% of the time in the year, they are going over across the country to deliver some freight.
Thank you.
Yes.
I think it's important to remind everyone that this is an existing business. It is not a new business. It does not affect the previously approved RDA agreement back in 2021. This business has been here since then. It's primarily a shop. The only thing that I am asking of the board this evening is to transfer ownership. That's it.
Yeah, and if I could just report, basically when we read this agreement and for the development, there was part in it is saying that, the developer cannot transfer the rights.
Right.
So we wanted to be upfront with the village. We talked with JR at that time, like, we want to be upfront. If it's going to be a problem, then, we are seeking to like take over the terminal by the place and run it. So if there is going to be issue that, sale might be in jeopardy, but and it's up to the village. That's why we want to be like upfront with everyone. Say if it's all good, we to take over those incentives for the taxes, because on yearly basis, like the taxes are in a good amount of $300,000-$400,000. So that's going to help us in saving some money.
Thank you. Any other questions? Clerk, call the roll. Thank you.
Thank you.
Trustee Hadnot,
Yes.
Trustee Williams, Trustee Brown,
Yes.
Trustee Roll,
Yes.
Trustee Taylor, Trustee Mosley.
Yes. Thank you. Motion passed. Village Administrator report.
Thank you. Just a couple quick updates. The first is, if you'll recall, back in September, we did a one-day robotics workshop here on a Saturday for students ages 9 to 13. We partnered with the organization Mentoring Youth Through Technology for that. Beginning January 17th and running through March 5th, we will be partnering with the organization again to provide an 8-week introduction to robotics course. Again, here at Village Hall, it will take place on Saturdays. From January 17th to March 5th. And then at the end of that 8-week course, there will be a robotics competition where the kids will get to display their skills that they have learned. So the information to sign up for that is on our Facebook page. It's on our website. It's been distributed to the schools. So if there are any children that would like to sign up for that, it is free of charge to our residents, our children. It is limited to 20 children, so sign up quickly. Secondly, was announced earlier this week, I believe on Facebook and on our website, that Village Hall, beginning January 17th, will be open on Saturdays. Village Hall will be open from 9 to noon every Saturday, beginning January 17th. Open to come in and pay water bills, pay for permits, pick up permits, anything that you would normally do during the course of a Monday through Friday week. The building will be open from 9 to noon on Saturdays going forward. And again, that starts on January 17th. Going along with that, the 2026 Chat with the Mayor schedule has been. The mayor will be doing Chat with the Mayor from 9 to noon on Saturdays, the 4th Saturday of every month. So the 4th, mark your calendars, the 4th Saturday of every month from 9 to noon, the mayor will be here. She'll be hosting her Coffee with the Mayor, Chat with the Mayor, and continuing on what she did in 2025, we will be highlighting and bringing out local resources, utility agencies, anything that we find of value to the residents, anything that can be educational or of a resource for the residents. We'll be continuing that in 2026. This Saturday, January 10th, from 10 to 11:30, right here in the boardroom, our Animal Control Officer Koval will be having a tips for nuisance wildlife workshop. So if you have wildlife problems on your property, feel free to drop by here between 10 and 11:30 this Saturday and chat with our Animal Control Officer and get some tips on dealing with those nuisance wildlife. And finally, I would like everybody to I would like to introduce Kirby Wells, who was hired in November, I think, as our banquets and events coordinator at Glenwood Golf Course. Kirby, wave.
Welcome.
If Kirby wants to come up and say hello and say a few words, she's more than welcome. And then done, that concludes my report. Thank you. And Happy New Year, everybody.
Good evening, everyone.
Good evening.
Good evening, Mayor Hart and Board. My name is Kirby Wells. I have taken on the new role as the banquet event coordinator at Glenwood Golf Course. I report directly to JR. My position entails promoting banquet facilities, focused on increasing the revenue, overseeing the clubhouse, the residents, the restaurant, the food and beverage service, and catering as well. For my first month, I was able to help coordinate 15 different events, as well as we have 6 additional bookings for the 2026 additional upcoming year. And what I can say is Glenwood is a beautiful facility. It's a beautiful golf course. They have great banquet halls, and it has a potential to be a staple in this community for ongoing, consistent events held throughout the calendar year. And what I will say is through in conversations and interactions, 85% of the customers who are booking and using these events are residents. They are residents, whether they were prior or currently, or they are returning guests. So thank you for that. My goal is to introduce new events for all ages in the community, bringing forth different ideas and working close with the mayor and JR. And I hope to soon bring new ideas where we can do some upgrades and bring more life to the banquet facility. Thank you. Also, I wanted to give a big thank you to the Village of Glenwood's Fire Department and Public Works for helping us with a water maintenance issue we had a couple weeks ago. They assisted us and they got us back up and running quickly. Thank you.
Thank you.
Mayor, I just have one quick question.
Mhm.
Village Administrator, can you just tell us what the ages of the children that will be in the robotics? 9 to 12. Thank you.
Did that conclude your report? Yes. Okay, thank you. Departmental report, police. Chief Petticore.
Yeah, good evening, Mayor, trustees, residents, and guests. I'm seeking approval to remodel, reface 4 items. The first one is approval of a quote from CertaPro for painting the office spaces within the Glenwood Police Department in the amount not to exceed $17,961.19 to be paid from our police department asset forfeiture funds.
Looking for a motion?
Okay. I was just trying to ascertain if we could do them all together for the sake of time, but I'm asking for a motion for approval of the quote from Central Pole for painting the office area and an amount not to exceed $17,961.18 to be paid from the police department. So move.
Second.
Any questions? Clerk, call the roll.
Trustee Brown,
Yes.
Trustee Rowe,
Yes.
Trustee Williams, Trustee Mosley,
Yes.
Trustee Taylor,
Yes.
Trustee Hadnot.
Yes.
My second item is approval of a quote from Mohawk Carpet Distribution Flooring of designated office areas within the police department in an amount not to exceed $51,102.64 to be paid from the police department asset forfeiture funds.
Thank you. Seeking approval for approval from Mohawk's Carpet Distribution Flooring in the amount not to exceed $51,102.64.
So move.
Second.
Any questions? Clerk, call the roll.
Trustee Rowe, Trustee Williams, Trustee Mosley,
Yes.
Trustee Taylor,
Yes.
Trustee Hadnot,
Yes.
Trustee Brown.
Yes.
Thank
Sure.
you.
I would be seeking approval, a quote from Madison Liquidated for furniture of designated office areas within the police department, amount not to exceed $12,000 to be paid from the police department's asset forfeiture.
Seeking a motion for approval for the quote from Madison for furniture in the amount not to exceed $12,000.
So moved.
Any questions? Clerk, call the roll.
Trustee Williams, Trustee Mosley,
Yes.
Trustee Taylor,
Yes.
Trustee Hadnot,
Yes.
Trustee Brown,
Yes.
Trustee Rowe.
Yes.
Thank you.
Lastly, I would be seeking approval, quote from ODP Business Solutions for detective and office chairs, designated office areas within the police department, an amount not to exceed $3,443.86, also to be paid.
Asking for a motion for approval for the quote from ODP Business Solution Detective Office Chairs and the amount not to exceed $3,443.86.
Second.
Any questions? Clerk, call the roll.
Trustee Mosley,
Yes.
Trustee Taylor,
Yes.
Trustee Hadnot,
Yes.
Trustee Brown,
Yes.
Trustee Rowe,
Yes.
Trustee Williams.
Thank you. Motion passed. New business. Hearing no new business, old business. At this time, it's open for public comments.
Leon Fields, 307 Minerva. And I did read the packet on the truck situation with Leading Truck Center. I fully understand. I think they're going back for a Class 8 also. Am I correct?
No.
Okay, but they do have a Class 8 though. Okay, yeah. Okay, well, that issue is dead. But what I want to do, I really wanted to recommit what the previous administration had said was after we have done all these different trucking issues, after we have come to the board, we still have a situation in Glenwood that needs to be taken care of. One, our streets, especially Main Street. When you come down Main Street, you got to dodge and duck potholes, sections, pavement missing, et cetera. And this is because we had truck traffic coming through on Main Street. Our people over there in Thornton with the quarry, they have a street sweeper. They maintain their streets. The drivers of the dump trucks, they can go up to 60 tons, I believe. They have a, I guess you might say, what they're to do is they're to level their loads before they take off. Those trucks come through with gravel, sometimes overloaded. The gravel spills out into the streets, and we do not have a street sweeper. When that gravel spills out into the street, cars pick it up in their tires and they throw it on other cars' windshields and at other cars. Creates a situation. The vehicles that we drive now are not the vehicles where you have a windshield replaced for $500 or $600. If you're driving a luxury car, to have a windshield replaced will cost you $3,000 because the windshields are heated and windshields have to be calculated after they're installed. So it can be a nuisance, it can be costly to us with these trucks coming through Glenwood. Now, I don't know if there's an ordinance or there should be an ordinance, whereas they do the covering over the back of the dump truck. But some of the trucks coming through, you can see the gravel or whatever it is they're carrying over. You can see it. All it takes is a quick stop, and that gravel comes out. The other issue is that those dump trucks have signs on them. They say, do not follow with 400 feet. So if you're within 400 feet and whatever comes off that comes into your vehicle, they're not responsible for. So when we have 6 trucks coming out of Thornton, 400 feet between them and any other car that might be behind them, any other truck, you can see the kind of situation we can get into. Then finally, I want to say that.
Mr. Fields, time's up.
I will be back at the next board meeting, okay? So yes, it doesn't bother me in the least because I've been doing this since 2021. So I will be back. Thank you.
Just so that you know, Mr. Fields, that as Village Administrator Patton expressed that we are in conversation and that we have looked into it. And so we do understand that that is a resident's concern and that we are looking into it to see what we can, if anything, to look into it. And we did at one of the previous board meetings approve to begin to do construction on Main Street roads.
Okay, good. And I am not criticizing the mayor. I think you guys are doing a marvelous job. But one thing you are doing is listening. We could not get the previous administration to listen. Had they listened, maybe we could offset some of the situations we're in now. But we've got other situations, and I'll talk about them at a later date. But you all are listening, and I'm getting the points out because, hey, when you got a good horse, you ride that horse. So while we got somebody listening and somebody who's going to do a little something for us, hey, we're going to push. Thank you, Mayor.
Thank you.
Come here. Good evening, everyone. Happy New Year. I'm Shirley Portie, 521 Kenneth Court. JR, this is for you. Congratulations on 123,000. Great job. question is, if this system is going to be used to get permits, pay water bills and what have you, I'm having a brain fart, and I'll use the word brain fart, of having Saturday hours all month. Isn't that a little counterproductive in labor? Or am I misunderstanding the upgrade?
No, you're
Help
not
me out.
misunderstanding. I think the goal is to increase access for residents, no matter what their preferred medium. So the hope is that in the new software, it will make things easier for the tech-savvy residents to go online and pay their bills just like they do with the rest of their bills. But we also are cognizant of the fact that people still do like to pay bills with check in person from time to time. And the regular work week hours may not be accessible to everybody. So offering 3 hours on a Saturday for those that can't come in during regular business hours, we feel is a good alternative to that as well.
Next question, will this be reviewed in a year if the system is up and people are using more electronics?
I'm sorry, what was that?
Will the office hours be reviewed again in X time, 1 year, 18 months, if the system is being used more?
Yeah, I certainly
That's a
think
question.
as we have been reviewing a number of processes and procedures here, if 6 months, a year from now, we recognize that we're getting no traffic through here on Saturdays, that would certainly be something that we would
Thank you.
Tony Platt, 423 Arquilla. In the process of putting out signs for notification of our meeting Thursday, our homeowners meeting, I was decided I would pull over on 187th and Pleasant. And 4 automobiles went through that stop sign. One was a rolling stop. The other 3 just drove through it. Now, I'm hoping maybe through the HOA to have a traffic study done in the 5 subdivision. Now, how we will go about that, I don't know. I'm going to talk to the chief about that. We have to try to take control of this traffic. Now, with springtime coming, you have the speeding and the people ignoring the stop sign. We have to try to take control of this. We've talked about this ad infinitum, and I know staffing issues or whatever may occur, but I'm hoping that we can come to some conclusion, Chief, about what to do about this situation. Maybe we can find out in each subdivision the worst intersections, or maybe we could, I don't know, hide some cameras somewhere to maybe film who's going through these. I know that may be a cost, but with the generous donations of the mayor that we had recently, maybe we can take the money out of that and just have something there where we can monitor the situation. It's just an idea I would throw out. I'm going to bring it up at our meeting. I'm hoping that the other HOA presidents will bring it up in theirs, and maybe we can try to find some relief. Thanks.
Thank you.
Good evening.
Good evening.
My name's Janice Ferry. I live at 931 Arquilla Drive, Unit 423 in Glenwood. And I just wanted to go on record to share a concern I have about the FOIA process. I submitted a FOIA request on December the 16th, and I didn't hear anything back, and so I gave a little on December 30th. I followed, and I haven't heard anything from that either. And so I know that that falls within the holidays, Christmas and Year's, maybe reduced hours, maybe staff was on vacation. But now that the holidays are behind us, I would like to know when my FOIA request, when I can expect that to be addressed.
Village Administrator.
Yes. So I received your email on the 30th. I was out of the office until yesterday. I did respond to your email yesterday morning when I got back to the office, letting you know somehow your FOIA was missed in that Christmas to New Year's week, and that I was working with our attorneys to get a response for you. That some of the things you've requested have to go through our attorney's office first before we draft a response. But it was yesterday morning I did respond to you, letting you know that you'll have it very soon. I'm just waiting. I'm working with our attorney's office to get the draft done for you.
Okay, thank you.
Yep.
Thank you.
Good evening, Mayor
Good
and
evening.
trustees. Happy New Year.
New Year.
My name is Kathy Paxton from 30 Nugent Street. I have a question for Mayor or any other trustees that might know. Was there ever an association on Old Main Glenwood that was supposed to have been combined with the forest?
The question is, was there circulation that Old Glenwood and the forest would be combined?
Was it
For sure.
ever, did it ever exist, of the Old
An
Main
HO.
Glenwood?
Was there an HOA for Old Glenwood?
No, no,
No.
not to my knowledge.
Okay, thank you very much.
You're welcome.
Good evening. My name is Lynn Martin, and I'm at 700 North Bruce Lane. And I'm here to see whether or not I can get some recourse or assistance regarding my board, the condo board. I was falsely accused of violating one of their rules, in which it turned out to be my word against their word. And in that case with the board, my word doesn't mean anything. I used to be a member of that board, but I wasn't getting properly heard, so I went back. I thought that maybe I can do better being an owner and to speak out. Well, our board president doesn't like people to speak out. And so I believe it's personal. Now, the other thing is, when I got bills, I got 3 different bills for 3 different amounts. And the last bill I got, they said that the payment was due on January the 8th. Well, we got a special assessment, which is another story. And they start charging my payment that I made, and even though I wrote on the check, this is for special assessment only, against that violation. On my monthly assessment, I wrote on the check, monthly assessment only, and they still applied it to the violation, which I had told them that I really wasn't gonna pay because I didn't think I deserved it. So what they're doing is making it seem like I'm late on my assessments to be charged another fee. So now I'm getting charged again for late fee because they said I'm not paying my assessments. So I was just wondering if there's any recourse. You know, I tried to contact an attorney, and attorney said that their charge will be more than what my fine is. And I feel like I'm not being treated fair. So I was just wondering if there's any recourse. Now, I did talk to Mr. Plott. He said that he's the manor, so I'm going to be attending their meeting to see if there's anything, but I just wanted to bring it to the village attention.
Thank you. Oh,
Yeah.
Ms. Martin. Ms. Martin.
Ms. Martin,
Yes.
there's some information I can give you and who you can talk to at the building itself or the managers at that building. Because what you probably should do is file a request in writing to meet with them or have discussion to share your side of the story or prove your point. And like you said, it is back and forth, your version, their version. But the first thing you would want to do is put it in writing, let them know that you want to discuss it. You're not in agreement.
I've got several hundred emails that they never responded to. So they're not even responding to anything that I'm doing.
Have you spoke to Michael Childers?
Oh, I tried speaking to him because he's the one that's doing my payments. And he told me that my receipt that I receive is not the same as his receipt, and I need to worry about my violation instead of him charging, taking away my assessment to charge against the violation. So that's not helping either.
If you want, I mean, and with your permission, I can talk to Michael and see if, we can get something set up where you can sit down and meet with him and some of the others to try to get some resolution.
No, I can do that. But even I spoke to one of the board members because I was at a function with them, and I told them, I said, this is not me. And she told me her response was she had to go along when they voted that I violated. That was her response. She had to go along.
Okay. If you want help, I'm willing to help.
Okay, I'll take
Say if
your
we
help.
could talk offline regarding that. Right. Thank you.
Good evening, Lori Wheeler,
Good
413
evening.
South Dorchester Avenue. This is a question, it's going to be real quick. If possible, you might have already are engaged, but if you all do remember, with the previous administration, I was trying to get an entry into the Forest Preserve. The Forest Preserve Department did come and check that corner out at Glenwood, Lansing Road and Cottage Grove. I do have emails going back and forth with the Forest Preserve that I had handed over to the previous administrator. So I would like to know if I could set up an appointment with you, JR, and maybe Mayor Hart, so I can transfer those emails to you and maybe you can find out what the decision was. I know it was one piece of information that they did need from the village. So
If you can connect with the village administrator, that then he could direct you, and if
Okay.
something is needed from me directly, I'll chime in.
all right. Also, I don't know, I had also contacted the Department of IDOT for the bridge that comes across 394 because they did the work on the east side of the bridge, but they never continued the work on the west side of the bridge. And they were supposed to have, believe that should have been done in 2025. So maybe you can contact, or do you know any information on when that work is going to be completed for the?
I believe, if I'm not mistaken, that western portion of it is scheduled for spring of 2026. Our engineer's not here this evening, otherwise I'd ask him, but I do remember seeing communication from IDOT. It was initially supposed to be done this fall, but because of an accident that happened while they were doing the first part, everything got delayed. So I believe it's scheduled for the spring.
Okay, then I'll call your office to try to meet with you regarding the Forest Preserve. All right, thank you.
Thank you.
Hello, Happy New Year.
Good evening.
Anthony Newsom, 417 Minerva. I'm up here because I'm want to ask maybe the administrator or the board to talk to maybe the project manager over the home 414 Minerva that caught fire right before Thanksgiving. They put a dumpster out there about 3 or 4 weeks ago, and they've been in the house, I guess, to start on work or whatever, maybe like 2 or 3 times. So it's stuff in all type of stuff that's in the dumpster right now. And we have wildlife that's going in and out of it. And that's a hazard. That's a very bad hazard. Number one. Number two, they're leaving the dumpster, coming over to the side of my house and going into my neighbor house that feeds the wildlife. So I'm having very bad issues with these wildlife animals, especially now with the dumpster. If they're not going to be starting any work anytime soon, they should remove that dumpster. That dumpster shouldn't be sitting out there.
Okay. Chief Walsh, will you look into that tomorrow and get a response for that? And then Saturday, you're available. You should attend the animal.
Yeah, I am going to come because
Get some pointers.
take my own action.
Thank you.
Good evening, Deborah Birmingham.
Good evening.
My comment is for the village administrator, and I'm going to look this way while I'm trying to read my notes, okay? Previously, you talked about property that residents could get, and there was a procedure where they can put up to $10,000. You will give them a list. No, if they were to come to you with a list, you can give them further information. Well, as I shared at the last meeting, I went on the website, and it also talks about developers as well. So my question my concern and what I'm hoping that you would do as the village administrator, knowing about the different properties, perhaps educate or inform the residents of properties that are available through that program, as well as properties that the village may own. And it could possibly be a win-win situation where residents can buy properties and get them back on the tax rolls, if at all possible. And I think it's important because when you think about other communities in Tinley Park, they're looking at ways to make sure that developers don't come in and just buy up a whole lot of properties and don't take care of them. So they're putting certain things in place, similar to what we had with the crime-free housing that was presented a few years ago. So if we can look at that to see how we can inform the public of what's available, what procedures they need to take, whether they want to go the route of those back tax properties or properties that the village has to offer. And perhaps something can be done where village residents can get some type of discount in terms of getting those properties and getting them back on the tax roll. And my last comment, I applaud the new website. I went on the very day you said it was available, and I shared with you twice that website does not reflect the diversity of this community, and several pieces of the information on that website is still old, and it definitely needs to be updated. So I'll keep looking at the website and to see that it reflects the people who live here. Thank you.
Thank you. And so that you know, Ms. Birmingham, that that's an ongoing process that we're continually working on. Yes, ma'am. Any other public comments? Absolutely.
It's not going to take that long. Wow, I'm glad I can help people laugh a little bit. That's a good thing.
Oh, it is.
It's an excellent thing. It's a fantastic thing. It's a wonderful thing, and it's an amazing thing. But the thing that I'm more concerned with right now is the fact that that includes me too. The property line going down Halsted Street has indicated a few months back that the fencing area looked horrible because of the fact that the trees were all over the sides of the fencing, at least from 183rd all the way up to 187th Street. I all of a sudden thought I had a revelation because next thing I know, the following week, the ComEd people were out there, whoever it is that's maintaining the electrical lines or what have you, they were cutting down the bushes and the trees. And I went over and I spoke to somebody and they told me what they were simply doing was just cutting the trees away from the power line because they didn't want the ice to press down on the lines and things of that sort. Well, they did an excellent job from the standpoint that it does look a lot better, but there's still some bushes that are still leaning over. So it's almost like having a pair of socks on and then one toe is sticking out. You know, they don't look good. So I would appreciate it if we can get Public Works or whomever it is to go down there and take care of the rest of that so that we can look like we sewed up our socks a little bit, you know. So instead of just saying, I'd like to know if we can do that, or is that something that we aren't able to?
Okay. Public Works, we.
Well, it needs it done now because it looks like there's a toe sticking out of that box. No, and it shouldn't take that long, but it would look much nicer.
Public Works,
No.
will you go out and assessment? Will you go out and make an assessment so we can have an answer by the next board meeting? Thank you.
Can I ask a question? And
Okay. Okay, thank you. No other public comments?
if I could just ask a question though, in relation to the trees and the lines on hospital, Administrator Patton, I know that I had asked you, is that village property? I guess that was my question, because sometimes that's like a gray area when we hear people say that the trees are kind of coming over, but is that line, is that village property or that belong?
It's most likely a utility easement in IDOT property along Halsted. That's my best guess without looking it up or having Dave here to answer the question. But my guess would be the initial part is a utility easement, and then the rest of it is probably IDOT. But I can double check with Dave and get back to you on that for sure.
To me, I might add that they're not going to cut anything else other than that. Dangerous to the line.
Right. There was, But there was one thing I had in the good neighbor ordinance was that you couldn't plant any bushes or trees within 5 foot of the end of your property line, so it wouldn't grow over as much.
Public Works will look into that and we'll have a response for you at the next board meeting. You'll believe collaboration and partnership and to ensure that the corridor of the village is maintained. Okay, no other public comments. Ask for a motion to adjourn.
Second.
Clerk, call the roll.
Trustee Hadnot,
Yes.
Trustee Williams. Aye. Trustee Brown,
Yes.
Trustee Roll, Trustee Taylor,
Yes.
Trustee Mosley.
Yes.
Thank you all, and everyone drive carefully. Thank you, Chris. Thank you.